the human brain has unlimited storage capacity. So that tells me that we are capable of living forever. I mean, you could literally read an entire library and still have room for every other library in existence. If we all lived in loving, conscious communities, then that would eliminate stress, crime and poverty. When you look at stress being the #1 cause of disease, then you look at the wording, dis-ease, it means your body is no longer in harmony. So all we need to do is work out what causes the majority of stress for people in society and make better systems that remove them stresses. So I would say the #1 cause of stress would be monetary stress. Then it's toxicity. So what you put in and on the body causes stress. When you look at the fact that over 95% of the food sold in supermarkets is unhealthy because there's only one healthy aisle and there's only one section of that healthy aisle that's organic. So if it's not organic, then it's not natural. It's GMO, genetically modified organisms. Information is also included in what you put into your body. And what does the news do? Completely bombard you with fear all day long, every day. So nature is the original system. You only have to look at what the birds, bees and trees do. The birds don't ask permission to build a nest or catch a worm. A bear doesn't need a fucking fishing license. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if we all return back to nature and basically community living, which is the family unit, then we eliminate the majority of problems and issues in society, which also eliminates stresses and dis-ease. One last thing, I just thought then. So aging, if you look at a raisin, which is a dehydrated grape, then yeah, have a little ponder on that one. If the skin is water and it begins to wrinkle, then it's dehydrated.
You know what they don't tell you about awakening? They don't tell you that your awakening is going to make a lot of things in your life drop in value. When you reach a certain level of consciousness, certain things that we've been taught don't have the same appeal. Money will drop in value. Relationships drop in value. People pleasing drops in value. The need to have other people around you all the time drops in value. Societal conditioning, what our sway, keep going. Don't go back, because you already know you couldn't go back if you wanted to.
With 1, 2, 3 of us and your brother, 4, we filed for patents. And then here's a friend of yours who's with us. So 5 of us filed for patents. If we die before the patent is granted, then your brother, who wasn't on the plane with us, he owns them all. So those 4 scientists, and the 5th person was the Carlisle group. They own them all now. The patent was granted 3 days after the plane was listed. Okay?
Back to our regularly scheduled program. Listen, Big Mama is in labor, y'all. Y'all feel these storms? That ain't just weather. That's the Schumann resonance, all right? The Schumann heartbeat. The labor pains of a new world being pushed through the womb. All right? Queen Mother, Big Mama, has returned to her 13th seat. The sacerdotal seat of Isis, or Set, the mother of the king, not the king's wife. Don't get it twisted. She is the one who sits at the center of the honeycomb, calling all her daughters back. The 12 sisters of Isis, okay? Each one a living stargate in the zodiac wheel of rebirth. However, there's been an infiltration of the hive mind. Parasites who serve the hexagons, who scrambled the code, who lied and told us y'all ain't connected. But you know in your soul, we all been connected to this shit, all right? Your mitochondrial DNA carries the hum of Mama Earth, all right? That's the powerhouse, baby. Mitochondrion can only pass through the motherline. So now Queen Bee calls the hive back home. She calling the 12 sisters of Isis to come take their sacerdotal seats. The stargates to open, Aries through Pisces, all right? All 12 points of cosmic recalibration. This ain't your horoscope. This is a soul map to the anchor, the frequency of the new age. When you see that Schumann spike, that's Big Mama's contractions, all right? When you feel the solar flares, that's Father's son, Ra, whispering in her ear, breathe, baby, breathe. Push this new round through. When your belly aching at night, your ears hum, you feel that electric, but don't know what it is, that's the hive repairing itself. You are the honeycomb. You are the cell wall. You are the frequency keeper, all right? And this hive, we don't need guns to defend it. We calibrate the mitochondrion, okay? We pass the codes through the motherland. We seat ourselves at these sacerdotal seats, and the hive begins to repair the hive mind. The original internet before we had Wi-Fi, all right? So stand in it now. The Queen Mother sits at the 13th seat, Ophiuchus. The 12 sisters of Isis take the sacerdotal thrones, right? Zodiac stargates align one sign at a time. The Schumann hums this labor beat. Your mitochondria is the transmitter. Listen, this is not a new world prophecy. It's the process. We are not waiting no more, all right? We're crowning. Big Mama's hive calls all her daughters back to the throne, okay? Y'all show up, anchor it, hum it, become the thunder in the honeycomb, because the matriarch is not coming. She already here, and the hive is humming her name. You are the anchor person. You are the hive. You are the hum. Sit at your seat, daughters of Isis. The mother's throne is only real when you remember who you are, all right? Don't get it twisted. All my ladies and fellas, the matriarch is back, and I'm going to jump on here every day I can and speak power to these divine feminine beings, okay? So I'm calling all my sisters, the 12 sisters of Isis, okay? For y'all to wake up, rise up, wise up, wake your game up before you fuck your name up, all right? Love.
Yeah, you won't believe what that is. You're looking at the world's first true leaf-mimicking spider. It's not a leaf. Meet the mysterious orb weaver from China's Yunnan rainforest, a spider so convincingly disguised, even scientists ended up doing a double take. Now, this isn't just great camouflage. It's what researchers are calling a true masquerade. Its body mimics not just the shape of a leaf, but the color of the leaf and even the veins too. It was discovered back in 2011 by a biologist, Matthias Kuttner, during a nighttime expedition in Shishambana. Now, in the dark, under a rainforest canopy, they found her, completely motionless, among a bundle of dead leaves she'd strung up with silk. When disturbed, she didn't run. She lifted herself higher on the twig, becoming even more leaf-like. So far, there has only been 2 ever found, an adult female and a juvenile. And early DNA testing suggests she just may be in a new species entirely. Now, Pulte spiders have always been masters of disguise, but this one completely rewrites the rules. I do love seeing evolution, survival of the fittest in a example as such. So obviously there was a genetic mutation along the lines, and this spider over time survived and was able to continue breeding to develop traits like you see right there. It's very fascinating, and I love this type of stuff. Occasionally I find these types of videos and I would like to learn about it. Of course, would like to share it with everyone as well, so you guys are also caught up on the spiders out there. So be sure to follow along for news and spiders occasionally.
The elite are just selling us the same stuff in different ways. Watch
Does anyone else notice that we're just going in circles now?
Yep.
It's with everything. Look at streaming services.
Listen.
It is 100% at a point. It's just cable. It is just like cable. There are hundreds of streaming services, just like there were hundreds of channels that you have to pay for separately. They all run ads on them, and you have to have all of them to have access to your favorite shows. That is literally cable, but shittier. Uber just created rideshare where they have predetermined locations that people can meet at, and Uber will come and pick you up
It's
among
a bus
all the other
route.
people that show up and drive on a predetermined route to drop people off. That is literally the bus. It is exactly the bus, but shitty. I swear to God, we are like 6 months away from people coming out and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of losing my phone. If only there was a way to have it mounted to my wall and connected to a wire so I know I won't lose it and I know I won't drop calls. We are.
The elite pulled a fast one on us, and we let it happen. They are literally repackaging old business models and reselling it to us, and we're letting it happen. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Get the fuck out doing?
He's not interested.
For what? What the fuck you doing?
Hey, what you do? What's up with him? They ain't got no warrant to go on your shit.
Nah, what is that? What is that? What is that? Go get a warrant. No. Go get a warrant.
Yo, y'all gotta get out.
Get out!
Go get a warrant. Y'all ain't got no right. Get the fuck out of here.
Your ass up out of here. Go get a motherfucking warrant.
And y'all got him in
Get the fuck out. Straight up. Y'all do the fuck y'all want around here. Get the fuck out.
Grab your boy phone. You even know about it.
We might just be cooked, cause now we have underwater ocean currents, the ones that control the climate change. Yeah, they're reversing. This is probably the source of the reason of why we seeing these crazy storms happen everywhere. So the flood that just happened in New Mexico, the one that happened in Dallas, North Carolina, Central Texas, and some other places, is starting to see crazy climate effects. We've got polar bears that's off the coast of California that most likely drifted down there off an iceberg that melted from Antarctica. Remember watching 2012, and the whole entire reason that all of this stuff happened was because of the ocean currents had changed. And we also seeing the shortest days in history because the earth is now spinning faster. All simultaneously, the earth's inner core just decided that it want to rotate backward. Y'all get y'all life right, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen next. And it's getting crazy. Y'all let me know in the comments on what y'all think about these underwater currents deciding to reverse in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. If you want to learn how to monetize your social media and get paid to make content like this, comment down below hub and I'm sending resources in your DM. It's getting crazy!
Il y a quelqu'un qui va récupérer le bébé là. C'est bon, il a le bébé dans les bras, Au nom de Dieu, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oui. Oh, c'est un autre bébé encore. Il y a deux bébés. Là, il y a les deux bébés qui sont partis. Oui. Là, c'est bon, c'est bon. Le troisième enfant, il est passé. Ça a touché le deuxième étage. Et le troisième étage, il est passé. Et je peux dire quoi aujourd'hui? Personne ne faisait la protection de la Là, c'est bon. C'est bon. Le sixième, tout le monde est sorti. Tout le monde est sorti le sixième étage. Là, tout le monde est sorti.
2025 has been super scattered. It has been scattered. Look at these videos, bro. And look at this shit, bro. When have we ever seen anything like this in our lives, bro? And then y'all know, ever since we've been seeing the red shit in the sky, crazy things like this been happening in different parts of the world. Crazy floods, volcanoes blowing the fuck up. Excuse me for my language and all that, you mean? But no, real rap, bro. They said that they caught this image and shit from space. Peep that shit. They had different angles and all that. From, you know, they had to use the fisheye lens. Peep. Bro, this is a portal, bro. Like, what is going on, bro? Look, when I was flying to Miami, right? Look at this cloud that I seen above the clouds. It was just like not normal, bro. Look at that. I took a video on my flight and look at this shit, y'all. Look at that. Bro, I was tweaking on the plane, bro. And it's like we already dumb high in the air, yo. That Jones is not normal. It's not normal. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. One more. What is that? What is that? What
They may have actually found a dragon skull in Romania. Watch this.
Words that are about to come out of my mouth, I'm not even surprised they're about to come out of my mouth. But it was only a matter of time before dragons entered the conversation.
Eventually, right?
Yeah, you heard me correctly, dragons. Now you're telling me that an alleged dragon skull and skeleton has been dug up in Romania. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen the video that's circling the internet, and it does in fact look like what I would imagine a dragon skull would look like. But I'm not here to tell you to believe in dragons. That's up to you to make your own mind up about that. But this video shows a guy in a dragon skull. Now, that got me wanting to jump down the rabbit hole, because you guys know I love jumping down a good rabbit hole. And it made me start thinking, the dragon is the only animal allegedly mythological on the zodiac chart, yet all the other animals do exist. How do we
weird,
explain
right?
that? Also, the Bible even refers to dragons, so how do we explain that? And Chinese history says that they use dragon bones for medicine. How do we prove that? How do we explain that? So I want to know if you've heard this, if you've seen the video, what are your thoughts and beliefs on dragons?
With the way things are going in our world, it wouldn't surprise me if this is real. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
See, they laugh at you when you let them know that you're spiritually protected. You're divinely protected, and God don't play about you. Until their life started to fall apart, piece by piece. Until they were stripped of everything and they didn't have nothing left. And life started lifing. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't too funny then. See, when you mess with the chosen, when you mess with God's children, the ones that he don't play about, he's going to come and see about you. Yeah, when you hurt them, when you make them cry, when you betray them, when you thinking you're finessing them and backdooring them whole time, you only digging your own grave. See, the grave that you dug for them, thinking that they gonna fall in it, you gonna fall in it. Yeah. Playing games with one of God's chosen, that'll get you hurt. That'll get you hurt. While you sitting there laughing and trying to plot and scheme, the whole time you only hurting yourself. You ain't hurting them, you hurting yourself, boo. Yeah, it's gonna backfire. It always get returned back to sender when you're messing with a chosen. If you and everybody else that's involved in that plot and that scheme, anybody that helped you or conspired against them for you, anybody that played a role, God gonna see about you. Write that down, take a picture. I don't care what you do, but you gotta remember that.
Yo, you good? Yo! This nigga.
Pure sweetness. It's literally what I'm made up of. Seeds. If you're not eating fruit, you're not gonna have no seeds. Just eat the seeds, eat the fruit, so you can grow you some more fruit, which is your balls, your penis, your titties, your vagina. That's what you're reproducing every time you eat this. When you eat fish, it smell like fish. You eat chicken, start to cluck and quack like a duck in the bird. You eat all that other shit, you start to be disillusional or kind of retarded or slow or mentally challenged. When you eat fruits, that shit turns you up, give you energy, make you back to who you was once when you was born off of titty milk. You know, most people are kind of illiterate today because they grew up on infant milk and that canned milk and not breast milk. You try motherfucking fruit, man.
Hey bro, y'all remember the Amazing Spider-Man 2, right? And how Jamie Foxx was the cuz with the electricity? Bro, look at this video, bro. Look at this shit, y'all. Bro, I think niggas is finding their superpowers, bro. Look at this. That shit scattered. Yo. Bro, do y'all see that? Look at that, bro. What is that? Hold on, I took a screenshot of that shit. Now, I know y'all heard about that family that had a UFO or some type of crazy shit land in their backyard.
and the cops was there and everything. Hold on, I zoomed in real quick so we can observe that joint. Like, you can see that joint, bro. Hey, yo, look at this, y'all. Like, this is scattered, bro. Where do you ever see shit like this? Yo. I'm telling y'all, Marvel knows something.
I can tell you that they don't want people living like this. They think that this is, well, I'll put it this way. If you got your own well, you got chickens, maybe other livestock, you're growing your own food, and you're living off the land. You know what happened in the 1970s? It was called the Rural Purge, when the major television networks canceled a whole bunch of rural-themed shows. At the same time, despite those shows being wildly popular and successful, then we get shows like Seinfeld and all these city-dwelling urbanite videos, or rather series, and they get rid of the rural stuff. They don't want you living rural. They want you into a big, fancy, shiny city with a million facial recognition cameras and an easy way to control and herd the population. There's a lot more I can say about this than can be mentioned perhaps on here, but all I'll say is it's very wise in today's world, today's society, with the way things are, to be boosting your system, because we don't live surrounded by forests, most of us. And the forests we do have, are they spraying stuff? Are they spraying stuff in the sky anyway? What's the food that we're eating? Many times has all kinds of contaminants and crazy stuff in it. This is why it's critical to be detoxing and boosting your system naturally. I'm doing so right now, drinking the Chad Mode from Chalk, which is the natural blue spirulina energy drink. Super detoxifying, energizing, and delicious. And right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the chocolate powder, the organic cacao from Bolivia. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
So right now, what's about to happen is the sun is about to unalive most of the population. Caucasians, American Indian, indigenous, brown people, light people, white people, naked hair, straight hair, big nose, small nose. A lot of people about to get wiped out by this sun, right? And this is why I say, like, people who have the mRNA technology within their bloodstream, just go watch basic videos on YouTube about it. Your DNA has been turned into mRNA, which is a messenger, right? It receives codes, so you are now merged with computer, with technology, right? And who's the transmitter? If you're the receiver, who's the transmitter? It's the computer, the new one world computer that you're trying to use to control the world. It's even if you watch the new Black Mirror, it's literally an episode about it, how it's going to be one computer and it's all connected to everybody who got that jab, right? And so what the sun is trying to do is purify the earth. So with how hot it's getting, a lot of cars gonna quit working, a lot of AC gonna quit working, a lot of phones gonna quit working, a lot of technology is about to quit working, because the sun is here to purify. Ashe Amara, Ashe Amara, Ashe Amara. The sun is Ashe Segment, Ashe Segment, Ashe Segment. The sun is here to purify, right? So with that, I'm about to wipe out anything that's connected to a computer or that's technology based. So like I said, most of these cars are gonna quit working. Mostly everything is going to quit working because the sun is purifying the earth. So that's why people who got the mRNA, now you have mRNA and not DNA, the sun is actually going to irritate and attack you too. And it's going to automatically irritate anybody who's a parasite to the earth, even if you're jabbed up or not. If you're a parasite to the earth and the sun burns you, it's definitely going to burn you now. So now's the time of purification. Now's the time now's the time for the great world to emerge. The great mother is giving birth to a new civilization, and a lot of y'all can't come. A lot of y'all gotta be baptized, and your brain need to be washed, and you need to go back and become a baby again to get ready for this new world. Because as you know, energy never dies, it's only transferable, right? But it's time for the great mother to give birth to her new baby. Right? And with that being said, in order for something new to be born, something old has to die, right? But it's all just a recycle. Death is an illusion. Remember that your energy never dies. But a lot of y'all can't come to the new world with these old indoctrinations, and y'all not trying to break away from the matrix. Y'all not trying to break away from this systematic thinking. Y'all not trying to break out of the loop of say, I'm sorry, that's not what y'all here to do. Y'all are here to continue to feed the matrix. So
before AI takes over, I'm going to share this. This is everything that you need to do in the coming years I don't know the time frame. I don't know. But things are happening. I've been sharing about it. I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is just honest stuff that we all need to be aware of and we need to take seriously. So number one, you need to get right with God. You need to repent and you need to get saved if you haven't already. Jesus is the way, only way. There's no other way. There's no man on earth. There's no self, whatever. Just speaking truth. Number two, you need to start forming alliances in the real life, real world, not just online. I've met a lot of you great people online. That's awesome, but we need networks going around, okay? Number three, you need to start learning real skills. You need to learn how to grow food. You need to learn how to raise food. You need to learn how to identify edible and medicinal plants in your area, okay? You need to get a plan in place. You need to look at this as it's time to get my house in order. You need to start learning as much as you can. You can use YouTube. That's how I've learned most of the stuff I've done. There's a few books. I'll share those later on that I keep physical books to reference when I need to know things. But Google has it free. Write it down. If you can't afford to buy a book, whatever, write it all down. If you can buy books, great. And if you know people in real life, go and mentor with them. If you can buy land, but you don't have to. You need to just learn skills, okay? I know this sounds crazy and it sounds wild, but not a lot of people are talking about it. And the time, I mean, we are being infiltrated by AI, and it sounds silly, it sounds like sci-fi. I'm not saying Terminator is coming, here. And I'm starting to get notices that my account is under review. So that tells you some things. What I'm saying is, whatever. But you need to learn these skills, okay? You need to learn it. And there might come a time when we have to go off online. I don't know. Only the Lord knows. So that's what we need to do. We need to be doing this. Share about it. Start talking to people about what's going on. That's okay if they think you're crazy. That's okay if they don't understand. Just know that Trump's not saving us. He's not helping us either. Some people are like, well, I didn't think Trump was saving us either, but I thought he was helping us. I did for a little bit. I thought, but I got this uneasy feeling. And I know now it says, Lord, tell me, hey, you need to get your house in order. So I'm sharing this. Again, you can think I'm crazy. You can think whatever. You can unfollow me. That's okay. Because humanity needs to wake up. Again, you research all this on your own. Read more articles. There's other people, a few small people talking about it, but not enough.
We looked in the car and saw the light. Shorty got her kid in the car for 45 minutes. Yeah, run, nigga. Got the license plate. And it's all on camera. Calling the cops. Cause how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? You didn't even leave the windows open. You corny ass fuck. Mad wag. Let me make sure. This is the car. And that's Shorty right here. That's her right there. That's her right there. At a bar. Left her daughter in the fucking car. I'm not. Savage. Whack ass. Nothing.
Why they try to block and stop the flowing water. And this is why Texas is getting fucked up right now. And this is why most of the earth is going to get fucked up by water. Because, so first and foremost, why do y'all think a dam is called a dam? Dam is the only curse word, right? And they call it a dam because it's literally against spiritual laws to stop flowing water. That's why us drinking bottled water don't mean shit, because it's not flowing. See, when we were drinking flowing water, there was gold in our water, there was copper in our water, there was silver in our water. All the elements that are within the elemental table were in flowing water. So that's why we could fast and just drink water all day and elevate, and our third eye and pineal gland was open, because we were drinking flowing water. As y'all know, in order to have creation, you need the sun and you need the water, right? So the feminine energy is the water. And when our water breaks, where do y'all think that water is coming from? That's the same thing as pure water, holy water, right? That's the flowing water that's coming from the womb. And that's what purifies the baby, right? That's what purifies the baby. And that's the true baptism, is when they're born through your holy water. If you're pure, doing the work, doing your Yannis things, healing your womb, you have the true holy water. So they stop the water from flowing, and that's why they try to stop the original woman, the American Indian, the true indigenous woman. That's why they try to stop us and keep us stuck. And that's why they try to block the sun off. And just how they try to block the quote unquote black man, but really the original man, try to lock y'all up, they lock up our men and do all types of stuff to our little boys for no reason. They're trying to block y'all, and they're trying to stop the original woman from growing by telling her, oh, you're a black independent woman. You don't need a man for shit. You don't need nobody for shit. You could do it all on your own. You are the protector. You are the provider. You everything. When in reality, men are supposed to be out here protecting us, and we do need each other. That's why we need each other to come together to make these motherfucking babies. As of today. Right? So this is why places is getting like Texas. That's why 100 people dead. I don't give a fuck. That's why a lot of places are going to get fucked up, because Mommy Wata said, look, I shame Mommy Wata, I shame Mommy Wata, I shame Mommy Wata. Same as Mary, same as Isis, same as Aset. It's all the same energy. Same as Ashun. You're not about to block my flow no more. This is how the original woman feeling, because we are the water. We are the embodiment of the water. You're not about to block my flow no more. I'm a flow regardless, whether I gotta flood motherfuckers, whether I gotta kill motherfuckers off, right? Because y'all are not about to keep stopping our shine. We have to flow. Stagnant water becomes muggy, stanky, funky swamp water. In order for the earth to really cleanse and heal herself, the water must flow. We must be drinking flowing water. We must become flowing water as the original woman, y'all. We are connected to the water. We come from the water like the man come from the sun. So once we realize who we are, we truly love ourselves and wake up, game over.
To understand that when you go into the Appalachian Mountains, you are entering into another realm. And there is a set of unspoken rules that you must follow. Rule number 1, if you hear something calling your name, right, you didn't. There is nothing there. And you should not respond. Do not say hello. Do not say, who is it? Just run away. Because something is trying to gain permission. And by you acknowledging it, you are allowing it to come after you. If you hear screams in the mountains, right, you didn't. And do not go towards the direction of the screams to try and help. Because once again, something is trying to lure you. If you see people, you don't. If you hear crying, you're not hearing it. Do not respond to this at all, because you are giving permission to whatever is in those woods to come after you. Now, if you are to go camping in the Appalachian Mountains, right, you have to remember, at night, you must keep a fire going at all times. And it's not for warmth, it's not for cooking, it's to keep you safe. And if you are going to camp in a tent, make sure when you go into that tent, it is sealed up. There are no holes, there are no cracks. And if you hear any kind of screaming, yelling, or anyone calling your name, do not respond. Do not go to sleep. And if something wakes you up, stay alert, and once again, do not respond. Now, it's very important when you are walking through the Appalachian Mountains, if you come across a deer carcass, do not touch it, do not stare at it, walk away, ignore it, because this is something, once again, trying to lure you into the woods. Now, if it comes to the point that something is chasing you, and it gets you, and there is no escape, fight. Fight as hard as you can, whether it's a person, an animal. If it's something else, though, and you know what I'm talking about, well, you just let it get you, right? Because at that point, there's nothing you can do. And there's an old saying, you go into the Appalachian Mountains with 2 bullets, right? You fire the first one at something that isn't a person, that isn't an animal. And if it doesn't run away, you know what to do with the second one.
This heat, this summer, it's about to unalive all you jabbed up humans. Anybody who went and got specifically the jab 19, not any other jab, the jab 19, and all series, all the boosted, it's over for you, right? Because why do you think out of all of the vaccines in the world, they literally paid you like a test dummy to get the jab, right? Because they're trying to turn your DNA into something completely different, into mRNA, so you can connect with technology on a whole nother level that I can't, or people who are not jabbed up can't, so that you can you're basically merging with technology. Your body's merging with technology right now as we speak. And so one thing I noticed is my phone doesn't work when I'm out. Like, I went outside today, right, y'all? I live around hella niggas, right? Hella original people, quote unquote, right? Everybody was in the house. It was 103 degrees today. Everybody was in the house. I was outside basking, laying down in the sun. But guess what don't work in the sun? Technology, phones. Shit, a lot of shit don't work when it gets super high. And I noticed that even the kids, everybody was in the house because most of y'all got that jab 19 and also got your kid jabbed up. Right, so this was all a part of the Great Divide, whether you want to understand it and realize that or not. So if you went and got the chicken juice, right, the jab, then it's going to be very hard for your body to like elevate with this hot ass heat. Right. So like today, the sun ain't do nothing but give me downloads, and like literally I felt the sun healing my whole fucking aura, like my spiritual body. I felt the sun doing that. So y'all, you won't have the same, like the sun might irritate you. You might feel like you can't breathe. You might feel like you about to pass out. Because right now they're basically turning into Teen Titans, a cyborg. Your body is half human, half robot. All right, so this is for the people who got the GF19. So a lot of y'all are going to be possessed. Y'all are going to be vessels for these archons to possess you through the Wi-Fi signals, right? Through the unseen. Why do you think they call it the wave? Right, wave signals, because it's literally flowing through water, and it's archonic, lower energy, lower vibrational things that's going to make it easy to control people who got that jam night. Because you're going to be real irritated. You're going to be irritated even by me making this video. You're going to be very zoned out, and it's going to be very hard for you to operate out the heat. And it has nothing to do with color, because today I met a Caucasian woman who was almost as dark as me. She had blonde hair, and she said she never burned and she never used sunscreen, right? So it has nothing to do with color. But all you people who got that chicken juice, that GM19, you're not going to be able to operate out here in the sun, because baby, it's about to be a hot summer. Right? So love yourself, protect yourself, and understand that the Great Divide is coming. If somebody got the jab, y'all not going to the same place. It's either you're with them or with them. Life is like a GTA, right? So you have a few main characters, right? But mostly non-playable characters. When I say NPCs, it literally means non-playable character. Like, this is GTA, and you actually can't even play this character because it's just a character to be there to do whatever NPC should do. Another movie that's about this is, what is it, Free Guy? It's a Disney movie, but it's really for adults, but whatever. It's about a movie about an NPC actually gaining its consciousness and realizing that it's living a life and just becoming conscious, and then shit goes haywire. Because this is what's really going on right now. For a while, NPCs have been gaining a consciousness, becoming aware of their consciousness. But that's not normal. So that's why I said, because this whole system is about to collapse, right? So what's going on right now is, okay, so if this is GTA, if life is like Grand Theft Auto, right? So that means that basically you can't die. As a real person, you can't die. You're going to keep dying and being reincarnated until you complete all missions. And then you're finally finished with the game. Guess what this game is called? The game of Matrix. The mother of tricks, Matrix. You're still in the womb. You're in darkness. You believe that you're living a life and you're conscious and all this shit, but you're really just in a fucking simulated game. Because I made the simulation work in my favor all too well, and sometimes not in my favor if I'm operating off fear, right? But if I'm operating out of love, I can pretty much get whatever I need or even want, right, to help me evolve and grow. So, but lately I've been not feeding my wants and been feeding my needs, because necessarily what I want ain't what I need. You get what I'm saying? But it's still the Matrix, right? So, like, y'all, that mean, like, in order for us to break the cycle of reincarnation, right, the loop is doing the shadow work. That's what a lot of people don't tell you. It's actually about doing the shadow work, facing all the trauma and healing from it, addressing from it, healing from it, and removing yourself from it. That's how you get out of this. Is a game of love. How you get out of this game. This is a game of love. The Matrix, that's our game. It's not GTA, but it's called the Matrix, right? And how you get out of this game is operating out of pure love and completely removing fear, because fear is your ego, right? So once you truly immerse and embody yourself out of pure love, operating out of pure intentions, doing everything from purity, you will no longer need to play this game. You learned your lesson. You learned what you came here to do, which is to genuinely learn how to first love yourself, right? Self-love is the number one important thing. You know, we heard that our whole life. And then to love everyone else because you are one with them. It's one collect. Final Destination, Bloodlines was deeper than you think. Yo. So this shit was crazy. You gotta go watch it. It's basically like people was going against their fate, right? I mean, the way they was supposed to die, they was going against death because one of the ladies in the movie or whatever, she had a premonition that this was going to happen. She was able to see in the future, so she stopped a lot of people from dying who were supposed to die. So let's say 100 years pass, everybody who was supposed to die, bloodline, end up dying a horrible, gruesome death. See, the best, most beautiful thing about this Matrix is going out in a peaceful way, right? That's why if you know somebody personally who died in a peaceful way, you don't even grieve because you're like, man, they went out with peace and they was ready and they was happy. Right? Because that's the most beautiful thing in the Matrix. See, our ancestors knew that death wasn't a bad thing, nor was death something to be feared, just something to prepare for and make sure you go out as peaceful as possible. Right? But see, a lot of people are operating out of the state of fear. So she actually stopped everybody from dying how they're supposed to die. So 100 years down the line, everybody died. Horrible, gruesome deaths. You gotta watch it. Final Destination, Bloodlines. It's deep. And it's also deeper than even just that, though. Let's look at the esoteric, spiritual side of it. The spiritual side of it is it's a lot of people who bloodline is not supposed to exist on this planet, on this plane, right? So a lot of people been cheating deaths, whether that's using these elites, these cults, whether that's using magic, whether that's using, whatever the fuck you've used to keep your bloodline alive right now with this new sun, and also with the mothership being here. It's going to get so hot that no technology is going to work. None of their nuclear bombs is going to work, right? None of their guns are going to work, right? Because it's going to be so fucking hot. But guess what's going to work? The sun. And the sun is going to purify and unalive anybody that's not supposed to be here. If you're not supposed to be here, if you're a parasite, you got that jab 19, booster, boost. Yeah, it's like eventually the sun is coming for you. It's going to be a very, very hot summer. So if you haven't already, go watch Final Destination Bloodline. That shit is deep, but it's just here to let us know, like, any of y'all from that impure bloodline that's not supposed to be here, right? That's not natural to this earth. Your time is up, right? And a lot of people don't know, like, the wars wasn't about physical gold. It wasn't about physical money. It was about nothing physical, right? It was a spiritual war, and the gold within our blood, the gold within. They got y'all thinking that the real gold is the gold that's without the physical gold. The true gold is the gold that's within your blood. You get what I'm saying? And in order to have the true golden blood, you have to come from the original bloodline. And not only that, you have to keep your mind, body, and soul pure in order to evolve.
Every time you dim your light and call it humility, you're not being humble, you're being scared. A lot of us was programmed to believe that being powerful means we're arrogant, we're selfish, cocky, inconsiderate. Being confident means we're full of ourselves, whatever that means. Standing in your gifts makes you too much. And that's only to people who not doing enough. Now, because of the programming, most people shrink themselves, make themselves palatable, put disclaimers on their own greatness, just so others are not uncomfortable. That's crazy. Somebody give you a compliment and you like, oh, it's nothing really. I just do this on the side. Instead of just taking the compliment, accept that you are great. You are the portal, you are the power, you are the gift. Just as sure as shit stink, that's what I heard Spirit say to me one day. Ever since then, it's been up and stuck. I've been walking in my power. Humility ain't nothing but trauma dressed up. True humility is not hiding. It's knowing your power but not needing to flaunt it all the time. It's also not shrinking yourself just so others don't choke on your brilliance. Let them gag. You weren't sitting here to blend in, you were sitting here to activate. You was here to shift rooms and remind people what real light looks like. If you've been dimming your light thinking it makes you look nice, congratulations, you succeeded. Because guess what? Nice means silly or foolish. Check that behavior ASAP. Because the truth is you not being kind, once again you living in fear. You don't have to hide to prove you a good person. Just stand in it with grace. Hear me clearly when I say once again, never shrink yourself. for nothing or nobody. Make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know your thoughts. As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
World War III is here. What do we do next? Well, I'm gonna let y'all know the number one thing we're gonna need is water. I've had dreams about it. I know everybody needs to start learning how to collect rainwater. It's easy. You just get a fucking trash can, put a mesh bag over it, and get your rainwater, right? And then we need to distill it. I distilled water. Distilled water it tastes so fucking good. It takes a lot of time, but I used a pot and a bowl and some ice, and I was able to get distilled water, and it tasted amazing. So we need to learn how to purify and collect our own water, because as y'all know, in the sewage, it's shit water. That's why I said the tap water is sewage. It's shit water. And then the purified water, they still use still tap water, and they're just putting chemicals in it in order to purify. That's why this whole system has to collapse. This whole system has to fail in order for a new one to be born. So we need to learn how to purify water. Women, we're going to have to come together, stick together, and start teaching our own children, because their school systems are falling. They're failing already. They're not going to have any new funding, I believe, for the next new school year. So we're going to have to come together and teach our kids, whether that mean on Monday, Monday through Friday, I teach the kids science from 9 to 11, 9:30 to 11. And then from 11:30 to 12, Keisha teach the kids science, math, and then somebody else teach them for another hour and a half. And, they teach them, let's say we could even teach them yoga, meditation for an hour and a half. Then the next other hour and a half, somebody's a botanist. They're teaching our kids about herbs and healing. We're going to need these kind of people. We're going to need these kind of things. And we're going to have to come together and teach our children and create our own homeschools. Whether that means if you're in your living room, in your dining room, you're making that a homeschool for an hour and a half to make sure your children have what they need. And not only is it about your children, it's about the children of the village, the children of your neighborhood, because your neighborhood is your village. So we're coming together because we realize that all these babies are ours. All these children are ours. We are all one, right? So we got to come together and raise our babies. We have to create the villages that we want to see in today's society, right? So in order for us to do that, we have to become pure within our mind, body, and soul. A lot of us are operating out of jealous, envy, and greed, right? And a very personal, mine, me and my kids. But in reality, you have to understand that we're all one, right? If we come together and we realize we're one, we're more powerful in numbers, right? So that's why you have to purify your mind, body, and soul, because the parasites will think for you if you allow them to. That's why you can't eat too much. That's why I encourage fasting. That's why I encourage drinking more waters, eating more whole foods, right? Like plant-based foods, right? Because your body can digest it easier and it hydrates you, right? And it also is better and easier to keep your mind, body, and soul pure when you're fasting from sex, food, and bullshit media. But we're going to have to learn how to come together so we may evolve. We have to keep our mind, bodies, and souls pure in order to evolve. Anybody who's not pure is not making it to this new world. You're going to be a part of their camps. They're going to set up camps in all our hoods, everywhere you go in the country, right? We're going to set up camps. And if you don't want to become pure and operate out of pure love and do what we do and work together as one, you're going to have to join their camps. You're going to have to get the chip, whatever the fuck they want you to get to operate out their system. So this is about to be a great shift. Are you with it or are you not? Self-love is the best love. They stole our land, right? They stole our land through blood wars. Why do you think that they were raping the indigenous women of America, right? Y'all don't realize that the people who sold us out, Moors just means to have dark skin, right? It was the Africans. The Africans were the skin folk that looked like us that came over here on boats, right? And they conquered our land through rape, through integrating and having sex with our women, through manipulation, through treaties that they didn't follow. Yes. So y'all gotta quit just saying Moors, because Moors mean dark-skinned human being. It's deeper than that. It was literally the Africans who sold us out. The North Africans, West Africans, who sold us out in America. They came here, said they wanted to do business with us, said we want to give you these trees, but we want a piece of your land and we want to do business with you. We said, okay, cool. They conquered our whole land, brought the fucked up Europeans over here, right? They brought up the most fucked up, all their criminals, brought them over here and made our land toxic and don't follow any of the treaties that's on archives.gov, on BIA.gov for the American Indian people. They don't follow none of the treaties, broke them all, stole our land and made us pay taxes to the Vatican in Europe. And made us pay taxes on our own land and made it impossible for us to really own land. You're really just leasing it for a very long time. You don't own it, and that's why you have to continuously pay taxes. People say, oh, I own my land. How could you own something that you're paying taxes to a whole nother entity in a whole nother continent? Right? That's why I said it's time for us to wake up, sheeple. Wake up. You are indigenous to here. right? You are not a U.S. citizen. You are a national, right? You are sovereign by the state you were born in. They don't want you to know the truth. Trump is kicking out all these other countries because this is his way of saying, slowly but surely, we're going to get our land back. Our time is coming. We have been last. And when I mean we have been last, we have constantly been raped, ridiculed, right? They give us shit that's not legal nowhere else, including the UK, like Red 40, like high fructose corn syrup, like these GMOs that turn men into women and women into men, right? A lot of toxic shit that's literally legalized here in America because they want to keep us dormant because they know we are the true chosen ones. We're not like Africans. We haven't had the same struggles as Africans, right? The media doesn't portray Africans as all their men as drug dealers and all the women as whores, right? This is what they paint of America is because we are the true chosen one that all ancient texts speak of. So now it's time for us to rise back up. They stole our land through stealing our blood, by raping our women, by paying our women and men, right? By paying us to have babies with them and marry them. They still do it to this day. I got offered 60 racks, right? By bringing them African women over here with them big fat old asses, distracting our men, then making the indigenous woman want to actually go get a BBL, but Sarah Bartman was an African, y'all were indigenous.
Y'all remember this video?
Really not smart enough to know who I am, but soon you're gonna know who I am. Very.
Nah, hold on, wait a minute now. Y'all know the border's been open for how many years? And how many people done got through those borders? But this is not the only thing. Y'all gotta think about it. A lot of sleeper cells got through too. Y'all remember when Ryan, on the Ryan show, when Sarah was on the Ryan show and she was speaking about the Al-Qaeda and how many of them that they train and they send them off to get through the U.S. and they just stay here for a living. Then y'all remember the lady that was in the Denver airport, and when she said something bigger is coming to the U.S., bigger than 9/11. Then y'all remember the protesting that's going on, the protests, the riots, all that that's going on, right? Then the Israel and Iran situation with the back and forth missiles.